All right. Happy Easter, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a good day. You ate enough food. You got to see your family. Maybe you went to church, prayed for yourself a little bit, prayed for your friends. It's all good. I pray that Matt Larsen has a really successful event this weekend. So tonight, Matt and I are just going to chat about the Midwest Spring Super Pull in New Richmond, Wisconsin this Friday and Saturday. I'm Jason Schultz with the Beer Money Polling Team. We partner with promoters to put a bigger spotlight on their event and do podcasts like this for promoters like Matt to come on and talk to it. So welcome, Matt Larsen, to a special edition of Let's Grow Polling Sunday night. I was going to book you tomorrow night And I got my weekends mixed up. I had emailed Hope, and I'm like, hey, when is New Richmond? And she said, oh, it's the 13th and 14th. So that I booked us to go to Farley tomorrow night down there to the pro stock capital of the world. And then she emailed back and said, oops, Jason, I had the dates wrong. It's the 5th and 6th. So welcome, Matt. 5 days away from your big event. Did you guys have a good Easter today, or is it just chaos around your house right now?
We had a great Easter. Spent all morning working in the shop. I got all the equipment loaded yesterday, and been working trying to get our tractors ready. And then my wife and daughters and my sister and mom are upstairs right now stuffing packets for pre-registration. So it's all hands on deck right now, but we're pretty much ready to go for the 4th annual Midwest Spring Super Bowl.
And I have it scrolling across the bottom, everybody. And we talk to a lot of promoters all the time. And I'm very, very impressed with Matt and his team, family, and team. This is super organized. There's parking maps on the Facebook page. There's pre-registration. To really, we get questions all the time. Why isn't truck and tractor pulling as popular as NASCAR or NHRA or Monster Jam? And one of it is organization. I think some of us, it's a hobby. I get that. I own a pulling tractor. Matt has pulling tractors, but it can be an organized hobby. And that's one thing that makes an event run much smoother, because if, let's say you do get a fan there for the first time and you have to start 30 minutes late because everybody decided to register the last 15 minutes. Those are tough conversations that you need to have. And I've been told what to do, and I've been part of, like Matt and I said, we were kind of talking off air a little bit. You go to a lot of different events, right? And you pick what you like about each event, and you try to bring that in here. And I think that's one of the things you've done up there in New Richmond at the Cedar Lake Speedway. First, let's talk about that facility. That's a top-notch facility. I mean, they use it all year round with the dirt bikes and stuff like that, man. That's a great spot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. I've been to a lot of garden tractor pulls, mini rod pulls, indoor pulls all over the Midwest. Powderly, Liberty, Waterloo, Shipshewana. But we've got a huge pit area right in the main arena. We've got a nice big tech area. It's all heated pretty good depending on the time of the year. And then we've got 2 really good 260-foot tracks. If we really wanted to, we probably could squeeze a little bit more out of there. But I think we decided that for what we've got, the 260 is a really comfortable number for everybody. It's not that far off of what you do all summer. And, if we had a lot of snow, then parking might be a little bit more issue, but parking has been our big problem the last few years. And the main thing is we didn't communicate with people, and we just started pulling in and everybody parked down the middle of the parking lot. So like Jason said, being organized is something that we try to do. I've got my phone number a lot of places, and you can message me on Facebook if you got questions all the time, but it's nice to have a website that you can go to, and it has all of our rules are listed right there. Registration is right there. And, you should be able to get almost all the information you need off of our website. And we are working to add some more to it, but, it's got everything you need. If you scroll down there, it shows the hotels that are available in the area, and everything else. So a tab there for registration rules. One of the things we're working on with the classes tab is, if you click on the classes tab, you eventually you'll be able to go to that and click on your class and see what tractors are in there. That functionality isn't working this year because we tried to do something different with our registration to make the day of event a little bit smoother. That was one of the hiccups we had last year, the internet in the building. It's good internet, but for what we were trying to do, we couldn't keep up, and we got a little bit of delay starting. We started the event, had to stop so we could catch up with the internet and the registrations. So we're going to run everything on paper this year. Everybody that pre-registered mailed in a form and a check, and we've got them ready to go. And so on Friday, we're going to open registration at 3:00 on Thursday from 3 to 7. And you can register when you get there if you haven't already registered. And then registration will be open from 7 to 9 on Friday and Saturday. At 9:00, I'm going to go up to the front of the line. I'm going to go up if there's a line there, and I'm going to say, if you are in the first 2 classes, you need to go to the front of the line, because in 15 minutes, we're pulling those orders and we're going to the track. We are going to start on time this year if it kills me. So,
No, I get it. It's tough. I get it. And that's one thing. Everybody's working, and they're taking time off to come to these, and we respect that, but want the event to start on time. So please get pre-registered. That you can do on the website, right? I'm on the pre-registration form right now, right?
Well, so pre-registration is closed now just because you can't get it here in time. But you can print that form. If you fill that form out and print it, you can bring it with you. And when you get to the event, it'll be a lot smoother. And part of the reason that we're kind of going to be a stickler on the or the start time this year is we've got, I don't know, over 300 hooks who have already registered, and they took the time to mail it in ahead of time, and so we owe it to them to start on time, and we want to get everybody out of there at a decent time so you can go have supper and you're not sitting there till 9-10 o'clock at night. And that also helps for our track crew because we'll rip that track at night and get it ready for the next day, and rip it up, put some water on it, whatever it needs. And so we want to make sure that everybody's not working till the middle of the night. We want everybody, the track crew and the pullers, to have a good time. So
yeah. Hey, what does it cost to come in as a spectator to watch?
$5 a day.
$5 a day.
I mean, it's a pretty much it's steal. If you want a pit pass, we'll give you a pit pass for $15 for the weekend. You get a wristband. You can go anywhere you want. Okay. That's what we're trying to shoot for. I mean, it's kind of a pullers event, but we did have quite a few spectators last year. It's nothing like going to an NTPA event where you've got thousands in the stands. We've got room for that, but it's a pretty good deal if you ask me. And you're going to see, we run 20 classes every day, so you're going to see everything from 5-year-old kids to 75-year-old guys on a 900 horse mini rod. So it's pretty diverse class list, and everything you'll see that the pit pass is worth the price of admission.
Oh, without a doubt. So again, thanks for joining us Sunday night. Happy Easter from all of us here. Jason Schultz here with Beer Money, and Matt Larsen, the event organizer of the Midwest Spring Super Bowl, this Friday and Saturday in New Richmond, Wisconsin at Cedar Lake Speedway. It's Cedar Lake. Is it Cedar Lake Speedway or Cedar Lake Arena, Matt? I'm sorry.
So it's the arena at Cedar Lake Speedway.
Okay, arena. I'm gonna write that down.
Yep.
And that's a really nice. If you haven't been to this event in the past, really nice facility. They use it for indoor. I've been up there with my son for dirt biking back when he was trying to break his foot or knee or leg every other weekend, Matt. I remember those days, so it's all good.
Yep. If you pull up the parking map, it has kind of a layout of the arena as well.
Was that on your Facebook page?
That's on the Facebook page.
Okay. All right. Let me bring that up quick. Please, if you have any questions or suggestions or anything, please throw it in the comments so I can read those off to Matt. This is all about promotion and answer questions the week of the event, just to make Matt and his team's life a little bit easier, coming this weekend here. So here's our Facebook page, and I'm going to put this in the comment as well. Go give it a like and a follow. We got John Anderson's watching from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Scott's watching from Beamer, Nebraska. That's in the comments now, this Facebook page. So I'm going to scroll down. Let's see the map. There we go.
And so basically the big red line down the middle is where everybody parked last year. This year we're going to ask everybody to park diagonally. We're going to put a chalk line up there if you're looking at the top left of that, where it says park here if you're going to drop your trailer. We're going to leave a little road there so you can get in and out. All the guys with the big rigs with toters or RVs and trailers, if you park down here where it says longer rigs, you should be able to pull right up on the grass. It's been dry enough there. And we don't have anything listed over here, but on the lower right, there is some parking up in there if we need to. So, but if you look at the arena itself, the big green areas are pits. And our yellow areas are staging lines. And then we've got big grandstands and then the track. The concessions is in its own room, and there's actually big glass windows there. You can just stand there and watch tractors come down the track at you. So it's really a nice facility.
No, it looks really good in all the pictures and the videos I've seen and stuff like that.
Yep.
Ed Evercamp from Platteville, Wisconsin. He said he's leaving about noon on Thursday. You're familiar with Ed?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
John Anderson says, see you Thursday morning to make lunch for you guys. Hey, John, they're going to be happy to see you. if you're
Yeah.
bringing food. So
Yep. We asked John to make lunch for the track workers, and everybody's helping out there. And I think there'll be plenty left for anybody that's up there on Thursday.
awesome. Brian Beckius, I hope I'm saying his name right.
Yep.
Come watch limited pro stock diesel tractors. It looks like maybe 11.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Sounds like we've got some guys coming out from the East Coast for that possibly. So that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
How
many states do you think you're going to have pullers from this weekend, Matt?
We were supposed to be checking that in when we were doing the registration this afternoon, but I know we've got Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Tennessee, Canada, Indiana. So I think there's an Ohio in there. So we've got quite a few. I think there's a shot we get some from way out east, possibly Massachusetts. So we're pretty excited. Our reach has grown quite a bit the last couple of years. So
yeah, you mentioned off about 10 states, and then that really big state, Canada, right above us. So it's all good.
Yep. Well, and the guys from Canada are actually north of New York. So I think they've got like a 22-hour drive to get here.
Wow.
So they were here last year, and they've got a really cool diesel 4-cylinder and some really fun looking tractors.
Yeah, we showed their video at the beginning of it. I remember that. I know which one that one is. It's pretty fun.
Yep.
Pretty fun to check all that out there. I like that. Again, we're talking about the Midwest Spring Super Bowl this Friday and Saturday in New Richmond, Wisconsin, at the arena at Cedar Lake Speedway. Matt Larsen is your event organizer, and we just wanted to kind of friendly reminder, get registered, talk about parking. Maybe you haven't seen this event yet. Wow, so let's say, Matt, somebody's been living under a rock and they find out about this, and they have we send them to the website. I'm gonna bring that up. So here's the MidwestSuperPole.com website, and you click on classes. These are all the classes they're offering. So, and then like he said, pre-registration is closed, but you can print this form and you can have it filled out. That way, when you do get a blind to register, bang, it makes it a lot easier for everybody up there. It's a nice PDF that you can print out. Make life is good.
Yeah, it's been working really well.
I think it was going to bring up a pre-approval letter there. Sorry about that. So we don't talk about mortgages there.
Yep. But yeah, it's pretty easy to get registered. And we've got 20 different classes. Not very many polls have the variety that we have. And so if you've got a pulling tractor, there's a chance that we have a class for you. We are working on possibly adding a couple of extra classes for next year, but that won't happen this year. We do have a bunch of classes with added payout as well. Our 1150 Supermod class has got added payout both days, thanks to Joel Larsen and Larsen Metalworks. The 1250 and 1350, the 1250 Supermod class and the 1350 Open have added payout thanks to Jason and Beer Money. Our 1950 34-inch tire class has added payout for thanks to Richard Throne. Our 1950 18.4 has added payout thanks to the Kevin Rudd Memorial Shootout. And our King of the Hill class has added payout thanks to Richard Throne and the Kevin Rudd Memorial Shootout. So, there's a bunch of classes with added money there. The Pro Stock Diesel classes also have added money thanks to Brian Beckius. So those guys are going to get a really good payout. So hopefully we can have 11 of them there. That'd be great.
It would be. Thomas Grams is watching from Princeton, Minnesota. His profile photo is a little puller. I can tell. Yep. He's leaning to the right. That means he wants to go left. I learned that the hard way. So I drove a tractor in Wisner, Nebraska, and I about drove it out of bounds. I might have drove it out of bounds. But we'll see. So
that happens.
Yep. Like I said, Darren Pligerman's watching from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Thomas says, hi, Roy Brandt. Chuck Hobbs, the Leprechaun's watching tonight down there in Illinois.
We're hoping Chuck gets his engine sorted out. Maybe he'll be able to make it up. But
I hope so. I know he was working on it.
Yeah.
Are there any hotels within walking distance of the track?
Unfortunately, there's not. New Richmond is probably about 5 miles from Cedar Lake Speedway, and to my knowledge, those are the closest hotels.
Gotcha. I'm just showing some short clips of some of the competitors from last year. We'll be up shooting some video again and pictures for the competitors, so we enjoy that. We love this event because it's close to home. It's not Powderly or Liberty or any of those ones down in Kentucky, so this is a lot closer to home. Excited for that.
Exactly. And we've been going to those. I've been to Powderly a bunch of times. I've been to Liberty 2 or 3 times, and we love going down there. But for us, it's a 14-hour drive if you don't stop. And so we've been looking for something to do. And a buddy of mine and I were going up to Brainerd to the drag races and stopped, talked to another friend of mine, and he says, "What do you think about this Cedar Lake Speedway?" And we said, "We've been dreaming about going there for years." And he said, "Well, I know the guy." And 2 weeks later, we had a poll signed up. So unfortunately, in 2020 and 2021, with all the COVID stuff and whatnot, we weren't able to have the poll, but we've been going strong since. So.
No, that's great. We got a big audience watching on Pulling with Garden Tractors tonight. So please, if you have questions about this event, type them in the comments, or you didn't know about anything you want to know. We have the guy, Matt, right below me here. Let's get all these questions out here. Let's see here. Don Wyatt from Armada, Michigan. Where can I find the order of classes on which track? Ooh, that's really specific, Don.
Yep. So we haven't published that. We haven't officially published that, but we do know what it is. I don't actually have it here in front of me, but we will be putting that out. We can probably put that out tomorrow.
Okay.
If you were there last year, we're going to run the same order that we ran last year. So on Friday, the first class on the Wisconsin sled is going to be our 1050 stock class, and we'll go to the 13 open. And on Friday on the other track, our first class is going to be the 1800 open, and then we'll go to the 1050 stock youth. So we will be publishing that probably tomorrow, like I said. And so in the past, we haven't published it because we didn't have, we wanted to wait and see and make sure that we balanced the tracks out and everything. And, even if we do publish it, we still kind of reserve the right to move stuff around. So, if you're in a class towards the end of the day, I wouldn't wait till the end of the day to show up. We're gonna really try to, by 9:00, shut down registration and move on. So, get there early, get through tech. So when you get there, you got to go through tech before you can go to registration. When you get to tech, they'll give you a form that you have to sign, and then you'll take that. They won't give you your registration packet until you've been through tech and passed tech. So. That's kind of where we're at there.
Cale Stafford, and this is the picture from the top of the bleachers. Just kind of wanted, this is their cover for their Facebook page. Would you say the Facebook page is kind of more of the current information, or are you putting stuff on Facebook and your website at the same time?
We try to keep the website up to date, but it does lag behind. I will say that anything between now and the event will be on the Facebook page. I don't expect much to be updated. The other thing, last year you could go on the website and you could see the hook order and what number you pulled in. We've disabled that this year. After the event, we will go back in and we will put the results on the website, but it's not on there right now. So,
gotcha. Cale Stafford says loading in the box tomorrow night. See you there. So. It's fun to see people get excited about your event like this, Matt, as a promoter.
Well, and we've gotten, we get a ton of help from pulling organizations. The Gopher State Garden Tractor Pullers have helped us out a bunch. And then the Badger State Dirt Flingers, those guys have been amazing. They bring their sled and everybody's there to help. Last year they showed up with basically a brand new, completely rebuilt sled. And we had some guys pretty nervous on Thursday night. They were having trouble stopping everybody. But by the time we got done with test hooks, they had it boat dialed in, and we had a really good show after that. And so they should be pretty much dialed in, ready to go out of the box. We've done test hooks the last few years, and I felt like it was really unorganized. So I'm going to kind of leave it up to the sled guys. If they think they need a couple test hooks, I've got a couple guys that have asked for it, and we'll do it. But we're not expecting to have a ton of test hooks.
Sounds good. Kristen Duchek says she's watching from Brandon, Wisconsin.
Sweet.
Scott Gearhart says, great track and awesome pit area. And that's one thing, before we came live, we talked about the weather looking good. Like you said, when the parking lot's full of snow or if it's muddy outside, it's a pain. If you can work around it, but it kind of makes a pain in the neck. But everything looks pretty good so far for all that too. Again, this event is indoors, but just getting haulers in and getting your vehicle in without making a big mess makes everybody's life a lot easier. So
yep. it is really nice. The main parking area is all paved, but with this weather and we are expecting, so we're, on the parking map, we have about 100, maybe 103 spaces mapped out. And, that's if everybody is parking really tight. But, where it says no parking, I think as dry as it is, if we have to, we can probably go out in there, but I won't know that until we get to the facility. And I talked to Chris up there at Cedar Lake. So we're going to try to have somebody out there as you pull in to park you and get you where we need to be. Kind of taking it, like I said earlier when I was talking to Jason offline, we're taking something from everywhere. In Shipshawana, you pull in, there's a guy in a red pickup, and he'll say, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" And he'll tell you where to go, and you go park where he says to park, and we're going to kind of do that. If you want to park next to your buddy, I suggest that if your buddy's not going in when you are, you should just park down at the bar in the corner there and have a sarsaparilla, and then when your buddy gets there, come in together. That's going to be the best way to do it. For us, if we try to leave open spaces, it's just going to create more confusion. So,
and I want all pullers to really respect that, because I'm a puller and I help promote. Matt's a puller and he helps promote. There's so many things that go on to put an event, and I really truly feel like every puller should promote one event in their life.
Yep.
Not to say I told you so, not to be anything other than holy crap, the amount of, because I know how much time and energy it takes just to be a puller, but to be a promoter as well, there's so many things going into it, and you want everything to go as smooth as possible.
Yep.
And there's usually a couple people that kind of know everything. You got a bunch of great volunteers, but if Matt's getting 17 phone calls at a time, he can only answer one, and just
been
there.
Like you said, with being organized, the one thing that I get a lot, I get messages and texts and everything all the time. What's the rules for this? What's the rules for that? Well, and I just share a link. I said, it's right here on my website.
Yep.
And go there. If you can't find your answer there, then I'll be happy to help you. But I believe that we've done a very good job with our rules and been able to access them, so.
Again, if you haven't heard of this event, or what we really need you to do, if you're a puller, share this live around, or share the link to the Facebook page, share the link to the website. That stuff is all put together. Like, typically, if you have a question, it should be able to be answered there. That's a great way to do that. And another thing, from a fan perspective, let's be honest, garden tractors and the mini rod events typically don't get 10,000 people at them, but he's got room for thousands of people here for $5 to get in. If you're looking for something to do next weekend, this is a great opportunity to do this. And this is where we always say promote 365. I'm very impressed with what Matt and his team have done on social, and all you pullers are doing a good job of sharing their stuff around. And that's truly what promote 365 means from my mouth, is we should be posting about, if you're competing at this event, okay, and please take this to heart. Please post on your Snapchat, your Facebook, your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you use. Let people know you're going to New Richmond, Wisconsin, because what the algorithm does goes, so-and-so, Bill follows Matt. Matt's going to be in New Richmond, Wisconsin, but Bill doesn't know about Cedar Lake Speedway. The algorithm ties all together, and next thing you know, the Cedar Lake Speedway or the Midwest Spring Super Bowl is on his algorithm. It's on his feed, and that's how we really, truly grow this thing. And I can't stress that enough, that pullers need to let people know where you're going. And pullers, if you don't have a YouTube page yet, make one. Make a YouTube page for you. Show your fans doing some stuff behind the scenes. Show your hook going down the track. Google is the #1 website in the world. YouTube is #2. Google owns YouTube. So Google is a search engine. YouTube is a search engine for videos. And for the little diesel garden tractors, they blow up. They are the most popular videos we ever post. And if you have one of those tractors, you don't have a YouTube page, you can make money with your own YouTube page. Sorry, Matt, for kind of going off on a tangent, but this is my passion. About
what we're here for.
This is how pullers can help each other, and this is how pullers can help promoters. Because without a promoter, right? Because Matt's not paying for this with his grandstand admission. He's just not. It's sponsors, it's entry fee, it's all that stuff that makes this happen. But wouldn't that be cool if there was 1,000 people there, Matt, on Friday, each paid $5 a piece, and you had $5,000 more? How much?
That would help a lot, and kind of to hit on what you just said there at the end. We're not paying for this for gate, and a lot of the pullers that pull at this event, they pull with clubs all year, and you go to an event with that club is getting paid to be at that event. to put this event on, nobody gets paid to show up. I have to pay to rent the building. I got to pay to rent 2 sleds. I got to pay to rent equipment. So, we're doing a 50% payback of entry fee, and we've got a lot of great sponsors, and we'll go through some of them here shortly. But that's how we do it. And if we can break even, we'll do it again next year and go from there. But that's probably enough of a rant on that deal.
I want pullers to hear that, because I think for the longest time we all kind of stay in our own box. And you're a promoter and a puller, Matt. It takes a lot. As a puller, we have to have promoters that put these on. And I wish we could get bigger crowds at events like this. I think they're great. I don't think promoters push them hard enough. I really don't. I just think we've kind of, it's just a garden tractor pull, or it's just a small mini rod pull. There's no 4-engine modifieds there. You're going to see some of the coolest engineered vehicles in your life here. And I can prove it to you, because they're cool. It's stuff you don't normally get to see. We love going up and videoing this event just because of that. But I don't want to Beer Money Pulling Team is not just about posting after the event for a bunch of likes and views. We are using our platform to push us out there to the event. I saw Justin Kent's been posting stuff. He's got a pretty good little following. Brent Yard with Hooked Up Pulling Productions, he's got a good following. We all need to talk about this event all weekend long. So please, if you're a puller and you respect Matt Larsen and what he's doing here, and you love this event, help him make it bigger by simply posting free posts. It doesn't cost you anything, just to go out to your social media and say, hey, we're heading to New Richmond, Wisconsin this weekend. Anybody in the area you want to come watch? Head over to the website. It's so simple, but I think that's one big thing we overlook. And that's why I like doing podcasts like this, to really do it. Because we've trained people just to sit at home and wait for that YouTube video or wait for that Facebook video. We need fans in the stands. We really do. And I'm one of the biggest violators of just posting all these YouTube videos. I get it. I totally get it. But we need fans in the stands. And that's why we take our platform and talk about this event as much as we can. And I really want to coach pullers on how to do it. Because I know some of you are thinking right now, Jason, I only have a garden tractor. Nobody follows me. You'd be surprised. Okay. Our Pulling with Garden Tractor page is almost to 100,000 followers. Okay. That's a lot of people. And right now we're live on that page, and half of our audience right now on that page, it's the same numbers of people watching on Beer Money right now. That's our target audience. Don't sleep on promoting your own stuff. Please don't. It's really, really important. So, Mike, sorry, Matt.
No, that's all right. It is, and we've had a Facebook page for our personal Larsen tractor pulling for years, and we do really well. And one of the things that we've done, and we haven't done a lot of it lately, but a few years ago, I whipped up a little resume for Larsen tractor pulling and started sending it out. And it's a little harder to get people to give you cash, but a lot of times they'll give you some product or something like that. If you can, show them that you're making an effort and you've got a few followers, and we're far from what Beer Money is, but
I know it don't make a difference. We've been doing this for 10 years, Matt, so don't feel bad. And I'm psycho about it. We work way too hard on our stuff, but you can make a nice little side hustle off of YouTube. How it works, YouTube's going to put ads in your videos, and they're going to pay you money. It's not hard to do that. And I'm telling you, the first couple pullers that start working on them in the shop, I mean, some of the best YouTube videos, like I didn't know how to cut a turkey like 15 years ago. I just went to YouTube, how do you cut a turkey? There's a lot of you guys working on your stuff in the shop. People will dig that. They'll absolutely love you guys working on your mini, working on your garden tractor, putting it back together, and you'd be surprised. And it's not hard with the technology on the phones today. It's super easy to do that stuff. And everybody knows somebody in their life who can help them put together a YouTube channel. It's super easy. So, Chuck Hobbs is being a smart ass, Matt. Can my big block V6 pull in the open class? No, Chuck. I know.
Yeah, he can pull in the 1,800 pound open class. 1,800 pound open class, he can pull in there. He'll probably do well. He'll probably beat me again, but I've been beat by a couple of V6s out there, but it happens.
It does.
He misses it once in a while.
Chandler Pickers has great food also.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a call with Chris tomorrow. Last 2 years, I believe he's had to make extra runs to town to get food and beer. So we're going to tell him, make sure he's stocked up, because I feel like we're going to have a really good year this year. And you can see by this list here, this has got a lot of our sponsors. Some of them have been on there a long time. Some of them are new, but we couldn't do it without these guys. And if you know them, reach out, tell them thank you. If you need something, reach out and do business with these guys, because these guys are supporting Poland. And there's lots of places and a lot of people that are probably asking them for their money and time, and they help us, and we couldn't do this without them. So the $5 to get in the event is worth the price of admission. The $15 is worth it just to walk through the pits. Yeah, and we're gonna have I'm pretty sure the twin Honda Goldwing is going to be there again this year. The diversity in those supermod and 4-cylinder classes is just blows my mind. You got snowmobile engines, motorcycle engines, turbine engines. If you can imagine it, somebody's put it together. You got multiple. We're going to have, I believe, two tractors there that have 2 engines in them. 3, I guess, because you got the twin turbine. You've got a couple with 2 snowmobile engines in them. So, and for the most part, all these guys get along. They get on the track and they're competitors, and then you get done and you share a beer and everybody has a good time. So, we will have some T-shirts for sale. T-shirts are kind of a risky thing because you don't know who's going to want what size. So we'll have T-shirts and sweatshirts. There's kind of a limited supply, so if you want those, you get them right away. T-shirts will be $25 and sweatshirts will be $55. And then we've got a raffle that we're going to do, and you can buy tickets Friday and Saturday. We're going to do the raffle probably 2/3 of the way through the show on Saturday. So you could win a 12-inch set of Douglas wheels. Performance Machine and Design donated a whole bunch of parts. They got a hitch, a posi lock shifter, a set of wheelie bars, a bunch of shirts, sweatshirts, hats, coupons, and then Larsen Metalworks, my company, is donating a metal flag that has the pledge on it. So and we also have photographers and video guys coming. Zizzler Photography is coming. Hooked Up Pulling Promotions is coming. Beer Money will be there. And Justin Kent will be there. And there's one more guy, but I looked up his name and forgot to write it down, so I'm sorry.
It's Kyle. It's Kyle Jackson.
Yep, that's exactly who it is. So, and those guys are, all the photographers and video guys are kind of the unsung heroes of this deal. A lot of them come and do it for little to nothing, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't get to look back at our runs and decide what was good or bad or otherwise. So I really appreciate what those guys do.
No, it's all good. Scott Long says, "Great job, Matt. See you soon."
Yeah,
that's the thing too, Matt. If you think about all the places you've been and traveled, and we help Toma with their social media, and that's one thing that Chris Schreier says all the time. They used to promote Toma from East Coast to West Coast all year long, and I know that you're talking when you go to Powderly or Liberty or Shipshewana and these other events. You're talking about in your poll, and and that's just like, hey guys, I came to your poll. I want you to come to mine. And that's kind of how our community works. I mean, if you want to touch on that a little bit, it's fun seeing all the comments that people are. So.
And Scott Long is, he's one of the Longs, and they put on the poll down in Waterloo, and we work together, together all the time. And I talked to Scott and Christy multiple times through the summer. And, if we do something and somebody calls him and says, "Oh, what'd you do here?" And he'll call me up and we talk about it. And it's great to be able to work together with other events and not feel like we're stepping on each other's toes. I kind of wish I wasn't so close to their event, but with Cedar Lake Speedway and what they do, this is really the only time of year I can get in there and have this event. So, we grabbed it by the horns and we're running with it. And
so Scott's the promoter of the poll a couple weeks ago in Waterloo, the Hippodrome one?
Yep. So
okay, great.
Scott and Christy and Rob are, and they're in charge of the Prairie Pullers. I guess I probably shouldn't say it that way. I'm not sure who's the president of that club, but Scott's the guy that I talk to down there all the time, and Christy does all the entries and payouts and all that stuff, and and they're great people and have helped me out a ton when we were getting started. You think what you want to do, but it really is great to be able to call these guys up and bounce ideas off of them and and I've done the same thing down in Liberty, Kentucky. I went down there, and it was the last time I was there was in 2020, right before COVID. I grabbed Adam Montgomery and bent his ear for a while, and just any ideas that he had, and why does he do this and why does he do that, and, and we've kind of evolved that into our event, and try to take a little bit from everything, and sometimes something works and sometimes something doesn't, and you learn from it and you evolve and you move on. So
yep. Well, that's why we threw $500. That's a couple of the classes. I mean, we make a little bit of money off some of our videos and social media from your event, and we bring our merchandise trailer up, and I know how much these things cost, and everybody thinks, oh, it's a little mini or a little garden tractor or whatever. No, they're very expensive, and it's blood, sweat, and tears. And I love pulling, as everybody knows, and I want to support it at all levels. And you talked about the engineering a little bit, like some of those 4-cylinder classes like you talked about. It reminds me of the big European mods across the pond, Matt. There's so many different engine combinations. Like, I love a Hemi, don't get me wrong, but pretty much our big mods, our big minis are just blown Hemis now, and it's fun to see all the different engineering and stuff like that. I think there was one last year we got video of with the Polaris they had to pull start both motors or both engines. Yep. That was so cool. Yep. That video got a couple million views, and that was fun. But again, post event isn't no good if we're not doing a good job. So if you're going to this event as a media person and you're not posting about this week, you're letting Matt down. Don't do that. Don't be just this YouTuber that waits until the end and then posts it. Promote the event. You want to call yourselves Pulling Media, then you promote pre and post show, if you will, because these promoters, like I said, Matt, I mean, do you want to tell what it costs to rent this arena, or is that kind of private?
Well, it is what it is, but it goes up every year. We started out, we thought, this isn't a terrible deal, and then the next, nothing's gotten cheaper in the last 5 years, and every year the cost of the arena goes up, the cost of the sleds go up. Pretty soon you got the fuel's a little high, so now you got fuel surcharges, and so it's quite a chunk of change that we spend before we spin a wheel. And
and Matt's not whining and I'm not whining. I'm trying to educate. I just want you to know, as pullers, put your puller hat on, right? As a puller, you're going to this event. You can simply help this event by just posting about it. That's it. Post about it on your Facebook, and you're going to be shocked the amount of people. And let's say Matt only gets 100 extra people this year, but then it just kind of snowballs. Our Pullers Championship, the first year, we had 1,500 people on Friday night. This year on Friday night, we had over 2,500. It takes time to grow that, and that's what we all have to do. And that's why it's fun to talk about it. And social media makes it easier to do this. You're hanging out with us on a Sunday night. We got quite a few people watching. Got a bunch of questions. Shannon Nelson must be back from vacation. He says they're loading up tomorrow night.
Good deal.
Good deal. Brandy Locke says leaving at 6 a.m. on Thursday. Brandy, where are you coming from? Bruce Landvik says Grand Forks, North Dakota. Larry Martin says we have fun. He's got a picture of a mini rod in there. So
he's got some pretty cool stuff. I've known Larry for a long time, and it's kind of the same thing with when we started this event. I've been around for 25 years, and I'm probably a little shyer than I come off on here, but I know a lot of these guys from going to these other events, and I just, we started doing this. I just went and said, hey, you got, come and do it. And we got a few this year, or the first year, and it just keeps snowballing. And I think that we're doing something right because it seems to be going in the right direction. Well,
this has to be your best year of pre-entry, right, Matt?
I believe so. Yep. Yep. And the mail seems to be a little bit slower. I had stuff that was mailed 40 miles from me, and it took 5 days to get here. So hopefully if somebody mailed something last Monday, which was the cutoff date, it's not, gets here before Wednesday. We leave Wednesday morning to go to the arena and start working on the track. And so I've talked to the track already, and the whole building is flattened out and ready to go for us. And Wednesday morning we'll go in there and start turning it. And they do get a little bit of rock in there, so we've got some equipment to get the rock out of the track, and then we'll start ripping it and putting water in it. And we had a really, really good track for test hooks last year, and then a decent track both days, I thought. I didn't hear any complaints from everybody, but we're going to try and get it a little bit better this year than we had last year. But
Matt, do you use the dirt that's in the facility, or do you have to bring dirt in?
No, we use the dirt that's in the facility. So in the summertime they run circle track, go-kart racing in there. In the wintertime they do dirt bikes. So there's big holes and big jumps, and they stir it all up. And so they've been picking rocks in there since they built it 20 years ago. And I don't know, they must have built it on a rock quarry because there's rock everywhere. But we level it off, then we got to go through, we rip it, and 6 or 8 people, and we just walk it and pick it. And usually we get 6 or 8 skid steer buckets full of rocks out of there. And we've got some equipment to try to speed that up this year, but it is what it is, and we'll get it out, get the rock out, and get her set up. Daryl Rath, a friend of mine, built a kind of a mini wobble wheel last year, and that worked really well. And this year I built kind of a blade with a roller on the back of it, and so I'm hoping that'll help us on the starting line. And we've got a few tractors and skid steer and stuff, so we'll have plenty of track equipment there.
I love it. Yeah, if Daryl asks, I know Daryl helps. He's always up to build something cool like that, so that's always fun to see what he's up to. Makes it fun. Here's a 1600 Open Limited from last year. This is a video I opened up to show. I know Brent's got some Brent Yaren's YouTube channel here in a second, but to kind of show you some of the cool stuff, I got to go through my YouTube ad here. Sorry about that. So Walt Disney Company. Sorry about that. Here we go.
We got to get Brent paid.
What's that?
We got to get you paid.
Yeah, gotta get me paid. Hell yeah. Mikey Lacrosse says, first time on a super mod, we'll be at the Midwest Super Pull. Excited to get my first Super Pull mod there with a great competition. So cool. And he commented, he lives in Green Bay. So leaving Green Bay Wednesday night to enjoy a mini vacation along with pulling all weekend. And that's what's fun too. I love that. Take some time off because pullers are fans. You know what I mean? They really enjoy that. So
yeah. That's probably the one thing that I've struggled with is when I go to these long ones is a lot of them are a ways away, and I haul tail down there, we pull, and then we haul tail home. And I've been trying to just slow down, take an extra day, take our time getting there. So
there's a good shot of I'm sorry, Matt, but those rooms at the end of the track down there, is that kind of like a concession area? Or?
Yep, that's a concession area. So there's tables there. If it gets a little, they have a really good ventilation system, and with the weather this year, we'll probably have the doors open anyways. But if it were to get a little gassy, you can go in that concession area. It's warm, it's clean. You got great bathrooms, great food. You can sit in there and have a good time. So,
Al Wright says, Scott is the president. Must talk about Prairie Pullers. Has done a great job since my father-in-law Ken passed away. Thank you for supporting our pull, and best of luck on yours this weekend. Well, thanks, Al.
Yeah. Those guys do an awesome job down there. If we can never do as good as they are, we'll be pretty happy. So
Chuck says, do you have that 4-cylinder class that's running to traveling points? Yeah, is that thing that Schaub and Ed put together? What's that called? Like some outlaw?
Yep, it's the 1,400-pound indoor series.
Okay.
So, we'll be the second stop on that. I'm kind of excited about that because I got asked. Travis asked me to make the trophies for that, so the trophies have already been made for the guys that win that come December. So
nice. Larry says, Doug Waugh, let's go.
Yeah, we'd love to have him.
Let's do it. Dave Eisentrout says, I wouldn't miss it. It's one of my favorite traveling shows of all year. Great venue, great competition, better promoter doing an awesome job. Even better promoter doing an awesome job. See you Thursday. Dave's a local guy, isn't he?
He's from Waldo, Wisconsin. Dave actually
has a mini rod, doesn't he?
He's got a mini rod, the Independence mini rod.
Yeah. It's Econo mod, right?
Yep. He came on this year as a sponsor as well. So we're really glad to have him. And Dave, bring that banner you had at the farm show last week. We'll hang that up for you on the rail there.
There's one of the Canadian guys right there, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. That's a Canadian guy. This is a Canadian guy as well.
These are cool.
Yep.
Zissler Photography does an amazing job. Had some great shots down in Waterloo. Good to see. I love all of Ronald's pictures.
We get all the pictures that we use in all of our social media and everything come from Ronald. He does a great job, and we really appreciate it. And
you can see the big brand things. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What'd you say, Matt?
Well, we buy the pictures from him, and pullers should too. You got to support these guys. If you see a picture on there, don't just copy it off your printer and picture it up, or your computer and print it out. Send him a message, pay him the $5 or $10 or whatever it is to get that picture so that he can keep doing this. They've got a camera equipment that probably costs as much as some of our tractors. So,
some of these guys have 15, 20 grand in their cameras. I know that for a fact. So, yep. So thank you, Mr. Zisler. We appreciate. He's fun to follow on Facebook as well. I love all his stuff. Matt, if you need any help with tech or flagging, please let him know. Scott's willing to help out. So
appreciate that.
Andrew Wyatt says, will classes run both tracks or stay on one track all weekend?
I guess I don't exactly understand that but
I'm wondering, like, if they run on one track on Friday, will they run on another track on Saturday?
No, we run the same track. So I think I wrote it down here. The Wisconsin sled, which is the inside track, I believe we call that track 1. They run all the hot garden tractors up to the 4-cylinder opens, and they'll always run on the inside track. And we do that because the mini rods, we try to give them just a little bit longer track. They maybe get another 10 feet. And so the way it works is, like, if you look at this picture here, the mini rods are coming around behind that one to get staged to the other sled. And so
that little white line behind the sled.
Yep, yeah. That's the road to the other sled. And so this is the Wisconsin sled on track 1. All those will pull on that track that day, Friday and Saturday, and then the Wisconsin or the Dirt Flingers sled will be on the same track 2, which is on the right next to the grandstand side, Friday and Saturday as well.
Awesome.
So
Chuck Hobbs, raining here, so he probably won't be in the field, but have to get the okay from the engine builder with what we have going on with the LS. Sounds good. Chuck.
Yeah, I was giving him a hard time yesterday because he found something. So I sent him some pictures, and I think he thought I was trying to tease him a little bit or give him a hard time, but I was just having fun and showing him what I've got. So track length, I believe on the mini rod side will be around 265. I think that's what we were last year, and you can probably get up the berm and get a little bit more, but and then on the track you're looking at now, I believe a full pull was 255 or 260.
Those are good distances for indoor pulling. There's nothing wrong with that, Matt.
Yep.
Zisler says not his equipment's all ancient. Does he shoot with the Polaroid camera still, Matt? So,
he might.
So.
Yeah.
No, he always shot pictures of our events in Richland Center. We appreciated that. So
yeah.
Chuck says he knows you weren't joking, and he says you're a great friend and a competitor. Yep. Oh, you two should get a room, Chuck. You guys should get a room.
Well, we've run into each other a few places over the years, and always had a good time together. So
yeah. No, that's great. Again, if you're just joining us, we've been live for about 50 minutes now. It's Talk with Matt Larsen, the event organizer of the Midwest Spring Super Pull in New Richmond, Wisconsin. This Friday, April 5th, Saturday, April 6th, starting at 10 a.m. at the arena at Cedar Lake Speedway. $5 to get in, $15 for a pit pass. Pre-registration is closed, but you can go to MidwestSuperPull.com, print out the form, have it filled out. That way, when you get in line, registration's from 3 to 7 on Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. Friday and Saturday, and pulling starts at 10 a.m. both days. 2 tracks. Like I said, it's a great venue. I've never been up to come to the pull. I've always had something else going on, but I've been up this arena. It's for dirt biking with my son. It's a great arena, and it's for pullers to have a place like this to get everything inside. Matt, you know what that means to everybody.
Oh yeah, yep. We love going to Waterloo, but that's the biggest thing down there is you never know if there's going to be a place to park inside. They did a really good job this year with bringing in new dirt, and they had a little bit more room, but we were prepared. If we had to take the tractors out and leave them in the trailer overnight, we could do that. But here, we've got plenty of room. You should have no problem leaving it in the building all night. I'm on site from Wednesday until the event is over on Saturday. My track crew is there all weekend, and we've got a great track crew. The majority of them have been with us since we started, which doesn't seem like a long time compared to some of these pulls, but that's key to putting one of these tracks together is having people that understand what you're looking for and what needs to happen. And Jared Weckman is kind of my main track guy, and he does a great job, and he brings a couple of his friends along, and this is like a vacation for them, and they just knock it out of the park. And We've got a few other guys that come and help, and we couldn't do it without them.
So everybody that's watching right now, I want you to type in the comments. Have you been to New Richmond or not? I'm just kind of curious of all the people we got watching the show tonight to do all that. If you have any questions for Matt, again, MidwestSuperPole.com, Midwest Spring Super Pole on Facebook, or you can type them in here in the comments. We're going to wrap this up here in a couple minutes. I know Matt's got a lot to do yet, but I appreciate him coming on here on a Sunday night to talk about the event. I know what it's like during the week of events. Super easy. So you guys are heading out of Minnesota. You said on Wednesday, so you'll be there all day Thursday and Friday.
Yep, I'm going to leave my place at hopefully by 7 a.m. on Wednesday and be at the arena before 9, and we'll get cracking. The track crew actually gets there Tuesday night, and then they give us the building keys at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and we'll be there. And we're hoping to be wrapped up and everybody out of there, by 5, 6 o'clock on Saturday. We don't want everybody to be there till the middle of the night. Usually by the time we get everything torn down and put away and I'm headed home, it's getting just to be about dark. So you're probably looking at 8 o'clock. So it takes us a couple hours to put the arena back the way it was when we got it and, clean it up. One of the things in the pits, we try to have garbage cans all over the place, but, if you're a puller and most guys do a great job of cleaning up after themselves, but if you can clean up your area before you load everything up and go home, it helps us with the arena, keeping everybody happy and lets us get our crew home a little quicker too. So,
and for those of you that want to see every class from last year, go to YouTube, type in Hooked Up Pulling Productions. He's got a playlist. I'm sharing some of Brent's a friend of mine. He works for WTPA, runs the camera, is one of the event organizers with the Pullers Championships as well. And he's doing a really nice job with all of this stuff. So there's a lot of opportunities. You can check out everything from last year. So
we reserve a spot right on the berm at the end of the track for him every year. Yep. So he's been great to come help us out with this every year, and we really appreciate it.
Well, he's awesome with video. He does a heck of a good job. Mikey Lacrosse from Green Bay says, 3rd year in a row, my favorite early season event. Love to hear that. Hey, Anna, for me, I can get 20 to 25 hooks here if I really want to pound the country, with our tractor. With your tractor, Matt, or like a mini rod or a certain garden, like 4-cylinder classes, how many events can you guys hit a year? Are there a lot of events for y'all or not as many?
But it kind of depends on how much you want to travel. There's a lot of guys who don't want to travel, but I travel probably more than the average guy. A busy year for us would be 25 events, and usually at each event we'll get to hook at least twice.
Okay.
So, we've got an RV now, so we can travel a little bit more comfortably. And so we really like 2-day shows is kind of what we're looking for right now. But we do a lot of, I drive out to Wausau area, which it's a 4-hour drive for me to go to Wausau from my place. And, if there's a good pull there, we really like this Iron Pony sled and pulling on dirt. I've been pulling for 25 years, and the first 20 years of my pulling career was almost exclusively on asphalt. And when COVID hit and everything in Minnesota shut down, we went over to Wisconsin and just fell in love with dirt pulling and decided it was worth making the drive. So that's what we do. We do as much with Gopher State and dirt flingers as we can. So I think this year we're probably going to look at trying to keep it to 18 to 20, but it'd be pretty easy to do 25, 30 if you really wanted to.
I got to meet some of the guys from Maine. They came down to the Zellwood, Florida pull, and it was a lot of fun. And as I watched some of Brent's videos here on Hooked Up Pulling Productions, mini rods and garden tractors have some of the wildest rides with that short wheelbase. I mean, it's driving one of these, you got to be on your toes, literally, because they react so quick, and you can really see them moving in this class. They're working that left brake and right. So they're fun to watch too. That's why I love them, because you never know what's going to happen. So.
Yep, and it's fun. Some of these guys, the guy before here, usually they got their wheels 3 feet in the air, and some of them they won't pull good unless you do that.
Yep.
This is my daughter Tara driving the tractor she had last year. We have sold that one, but it's kind of a family affair here.
Where's the Iron Pony sled out of, Matt?
What's that?
Where's the Iron Pony sled out of, or weight transfer?
The Badger State Dirt Flingers, so they're out of the Marshfield, Wisconsin area.
Yeah, we always had them at our events in Richland Center. Shannon Nelson and those guys.
Yep. Shannon.
I just don't remember what the sled was called.
Yep. Shannon's the kind of the driving force behind that club. Bill Grass runs it, and he does a good job with that. And they'll always have 3 or 4 guys down there and talking to everybody, and does a real good job of listening if somebody has input. Just because they bring something to them doesn't mean they're going to do it, but
Right.
they do a really good job. And I think last year once I asked them, I said, you got to get them a little farther, we got to lighten this up, and they made the change, and we had a perfect sled setting after one change. So
Nice.
They're great guys to work with.
Mitch Pierce says, hopefully I can make it next year. Mitch has got an Econo mod, naturally aspirated one. Dakota Moktig, this year will be our second year pulling there. See you Thursday. Looking forward to it. Do a lot of guys come in on Thursday, Matt?
We do have a fair amount to come in on Thursday. And then I would say the majority of guys that pre-registered come in on Thursday. And then we'll get quite a few on Friday. And so we kind of hope that if you pre-registered and you can do it, come in on Thursday and get your stuff in and get through tech. And we get that all out of the way, and then we'll let the guys who are coming in, on Friday and Saturday morning and still need to register, we'll get them in.
How many volunteers does it take to put this on, Matt?
Oh, I think we're at 25 or 30, and we probably should be at more than that. But I can't thank my wife and my daughters enough. They put up with a lot for me through the year. And then a couple of my core guys are Andy Peterson, Scott Gerhardt, and Matt and Danielle Creswick. Danielle does our website, and Matt helps with everything. He does registration at the event. Abby, my daughter, she does the majority of the registration. My sister Erin helps with taking distances down. My dad Joel and my daughter Tara are going to tag team the announcing this year. We'll get a little help from Kirby Brecky on the announcing as well. So, it's everybody that we can find that wants to help, we'll take them. And so if our volunteers, we give them all food vouchers, and so their meals are paid for. They get a free T-shirt, and we try to take care of them as best we can because we couldn't do it without them.
No, it takes an army.
Yeah.
Drew Dumpke says been there every year they've had it. They also have races out on the big track on Saturday night.
Yep. Yeah, I think they're supposed to have practice this year, so we've kind of lucked out that the weather hasn't been good enough for them, but I think they'll have good enough weather this year. So hopefully there's enough room for both of us.
This is one of those Canadian tractors again. I love this guy. I love his helmet. It's so awesome.
We love having him come up. We don't get to talk to them as much because they speak French Canadian. They speak very little English. So I actually said that if they were coming back this year, I was going to try to learn some French. But my boss at work, he said that's different than French, so it won't do you good. So I didn't.
The weight transfer. They have a pull-in sled. I feel they have a big sled, right? I've been to all three.
I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but
okay. I feel like I've seen their Facebook page before.
Yeah.
Joel Magnuson says, "See you there, Scott Gerhardt."
Good.
Mikey Lacrosse, 15 to 20 events for us.
Yeah.
This is fun. Thomas Graham says, every 1 hour drive.
Yeah.
Okay. He's been to every one. He's supposed to be close. Okay, this is a spammer. Hey, all right, folks. This is another lesson. If their first name and their last name is two persons' first names, they're scammers. Okay, I want you to know that. So that's Susan.
Joel, bring your pulling tractor with you. Make Scotty work for it.
There you go. Mikey says, "Will there be kid sizes for shirts and hoodies?" I know you had a post up, but I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't do youth sizes. I guess it never crossed my mind. I probably should have. One thing I've been debating on, and I haven't decided 100% yet, but I think we're going to run out of shirts pretty early. We could do pre-orders, and if people wanted them, we could take an order. If they pay for them at the event, we could ship them to them.
I will tell you that's why I hooked up with Angry Duck, and this is not a promotion for them, but they have an online web store for me now, and they're doing it for a lot of pullers now. Matt, he would do it for events like this too, where then you don't, because merch sounds fun, until you do merch.
You get that. He sends you the bill, and you about throw up when you see.
Yeah, you're like,
if they don't buy these T-shirts, I'm going to go under.
Yeah,
you know.
So
and we still got a couple left from last year. So you never have the right size, or
Nope.
never. The sweatshirts look so expensive, and then that's what everybody wants, and you don't have enough. And so I think that we've probably got enough resources, and we can take pre-orders, and if we run out and there's the size you want, we can get them made and get them shipped to you in a week or two.
I can get you in touch with that guy for next year if you want that. So
yeah,
this makes life a lot easier.
Yep.
Once again, Matt, thanks for everything you and your crew do to put this event on. I know it's a lot of hard work. Can't thank it. And that's Scott Long from the Waterloo Bowl. Don Wyatt, Armada, no joke pulling team, first time this event. Looking forward to the experience. They're coming all the way from Armada, Michigan. So that's pretty cool.
That's north of Detroit. So we're excited to have them. Good deal.
Check your notes, Matt. Make sure we covered everything.
Yeah, I think I've got everything on here. I've got another page that's I was working on my pit meeting notes as well. So we will have a 50-50 both days. We are probably going to do some fuel samples in a few classes. So we'll see how that goes. But most of it is, we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. We just need to get up there and get this thing done. We do have a few things we got to iron out, but they're minor. So pretty excited to see everybody in a couple days, and appreciate.
I'm excited for you. Thank you for letting us be part of it. We've been coming up the last couple of years, and we sell a little bit of merchandise, have some fun, and get some good content for some of our Facebook pages and YouTube. And again, it was fun to do this tonight. And again, I want to apologize. I meant to have you on Monday night, but we've had a nice audience tonight. It hasn't hurt at all, but we had the dates wrote down wrong a couple months ago, and I was planning out the podcast. So we're going to head down to Farley, Iowa tomorrow and hang out with Simons. And Jason.
That'll be fun too.
Yeah, be a good time. So, well, everybody, MidwestSuperPole.com is the website. Midwest Spring Super Pole is their Facebook page. If you have any information on there, please share this around with friends, family, and for you local Wisconsinians, is that the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure, Matt. Wisconsinites. My wife just yelled at me from the other room. Wisconsinites. We need you to share this, and so local people are able to come up to this as well. It makes a lot of fun. You can see there's a lot of good iron there, and it's a really fun show to watch. And if you want to go back to YouTube from last year, Brent Yaren's got all the photos up there, or all the videos up there from last year, and a nice class list at Hooked Up Pulling Productions as well. And I know we have some stuff at our BMPT Truck and Tractor Pulling YouTube page as well. So, first, Matt, thanks for being a promoter. I know how much hard work it is. You know how much hard work it is, but it's very fulfilling, when you're looking at videos like this and seeing a good track and all your fellow competitors having a good time. And it's good for the local economy too, because people are coming in and getting hotel rooms. And I hope all the local sponsors support you as well. Hey, that's Wrath Tractor right there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Think sharp. So
I think he bought a rear end after that hook.
I think he did. It looked like
we did break a few rear ends last year. So I think we had 3 tractors from Indiana went home with broken rear ends. So,
would you some tracks are sandier and some tracks? Is your track kind of known as a harder pulling track where you got to shift down, or is it pretty average, or what do you hear from the guys?
I would shift down. I'd shift down and put weight on the front. I mean, if you look at most of these guys, they've got a fair amount of weight on the front end. So we work hard to have a really good hook and track that'll you can put the power to the ground.
Now, without the sun and the wind kind of pounding on it, can you keep it pretty consistent all day long, or do you see it change throughout the day, Matt?
It does pretty good. They have trouble with there's no bottom in this building. So even when they're racing, they're always adding water. And so we're going to try and get it maybe a little extra wet on Wednesday. That'll give us a day to fix it if we have to. But we're going to try and get some moisture down deep, and then hopefully it'll hold a little bit better. It maybe went away a little bit towards the end of the day, but I think for the most part, it was very consistent.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you again. Matt, hang out for just a second with me after I hit the end live button. But thank you for watching tonight, everybody. Please go support the Pull into Richmond. Matt will still take your check if you want to throw some extra money into some of these classes. I think that's a great way to do that. That's what we did. We were excited for that. I know some other people have been doing it every year. $50 or $100. Something's better than nothing. Trust me on this.
Okay? And almost all of that unless the sponsor has said they don't care what we do with it, we almost always put all of it back to the purse.
Yep.
So, you know.
No, it's all good. It is all good. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in New Richmond, Wisconsin this Friday and Saturday. Have a great night.